Hey there. Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday, isn't it? We're just in Hollywood, braving the heat. I hope you guys are all doing well. Hopefully working up a sweat till I can get to Mashti Malone's. Hey Carrie, hey Tom, hey Enzo, and Happy. Let me make sure I'm all the way zoomed out. I feel like it goes, sorry, I'm gonna make sure I'm zoomed all the way out. Ah, there we go. I'm not sure, about one a week. And that's only the ones we tell you about. Sometimes we get other things. Sometimes we get actual food. We're at the corner of Argyle and Yucca. I feel like sorry. I had a really weird experience up here one time. I feel like, and the guy just stepped on one of those trap doors in the sidewalk, literally right by me, and I thought he was like stomping for some reason. Anyway, somebody that we walk with used to live right there. Hey, Albie Joshin. Happy Wednesday. Hey, Wilmchich. It's hard to pronounce that. Joking. Happy to see you. So we're going to walk down Vine to Hollywood Boulevard. We're going to crisscross. The ultimate goal is to get to this legendary ice cream place called Mashti Malone's, which, what first attracted me to this place, and mind you, I've never been there before, is just the sign and the name, the kind of mix-up of a name. So they have really interesting ice cream flavors there. The guy, Mashti, is Persian. He bought it in the 1980s from some guy, or it was originally called Muggsy Malone's, and I guess it was just cheaper to put Mashti on there. Yeah, I can only really have the black horchata cone once a month. It's just too good. I don't want to wear it out. Also, on particularly hot days, it's pretty stainy. It dripped all over my brand new sneakers and can't get it out. That's all right. They're not fancy sneakers. So we're gonna walk down Vine towards Hollywood Boulevard. Right, I'm sorry I got really wrapped up in Baby Peggy in the middle of it. It was only supposed to be like 3-minute videos, you know, a little history. And then I was like, I just can't. First of all, the name Baby Peggy, I couldn't stop saying it, like sort of echolalia. But then I just looked her up and just really sad kind of story. So I figured we would mention her. And also a story of triumph. I'm glad you liked it. Practicing my editing skills. I think I'm at a C+ now. Baby Peggy is the reason it took me so long. Because that wasn't originally part of it, but as I was like writing it and reading it and researching the Vista, and I just couldn't not. Also, I feel like she was the archetype, if you can call it that, for like Shirley Temple, and we all know Shirley Temple, and I think Shirley Temple's referenced Baby Peggy, also Judy Garland. She was friends with them somehow. I don't really understand. I didn't dig that much. Like before she was 5, there was the interview or an article, and it was, I think you can just see the corner of the page in the video, but she was like, just after my 4th birthday. Oh, well, she's made more money in her lifetime by her 4th birthday than I had. Not Judy, she's always here. And we're about to walk through Bob Hope Square, and Judy Shirley was over there. I think she performed over there. We have 5 seconds before I get hit by a bus, a truck with no grill, a Lexus from 2003. These do not look like great insurance claims, so I gotta hustle. I think they should, but they don't. I think what changed them was Jackie Coogan, and he came a little bit after her, but the Jackie Coogan law changed it. I think, I don't know, it's a lot of pressure on a child. It's a lot of pressure on adults too. So in researching the ice creams for this place, I saw Rosewater and pistachio. That's kind of like my number one go-to out of the list. There's cucumber, which I'm absolutely not going to get. Cucumber ice cream is... I love cucumbers, but I don't love cucumber flavored things like cucumber facial mask. You're not supposed to eat that, but cucumber dish soap, you're also not supposed to eat that. I get carried away with Will's name. I can't stop pronouncing more letters. Willimpia. Or is it Willimpia? There's an old bathhouse. I just wanted to walk down. We're gonna zigzag. I didn't choose a very long walk today. This is where the farmer's market is. Yeah, cucumber ice cream. It doesn't really sound appealing. So orange blossom sounds really great to me. They have orange blossom, pistachio, and rosewater, which sounds fantastic. There was another flavor I can't remember. We'll see the list. And then there were like 3 flavors I want to try. And then there's something called the Holywood flavor, which is like a maybe off-menu thing. It's a ice cream. It has cardamom in it, which I love. So if that's available, I'm going to try that. But they also make really good ice cream sandwiches with like a really thin wafer. I'm not going to get one of those. I mean, would love to bring some ice cream home, but by the time I got back home, I'm just going to cross the street here. Let these folks use the latrine. Hey, Oscar, nice to see ya. Oh, somebody else filming here, sorry. I'm gonna move through this real quick. And we'll cross again. Orange blossom ice cream, though, kind of sounds a little Orange Julius or like creamsicle to me. I feel like I've had Rosewater ice cream before. There's a place in Brentwood, I cannot remember the name of it, but they had like Also crazy ice cream flavors. Fennel, which was really good. Basil, which I didn't like. Some crazy chocolate. We're on Ivar and Selma, just below Hollywood Boulevard. I've been drinking a lot of lemonade. It's like the cheapest drink in the store, to be honest with you. You know, it's like simply blah blah blah, low sugar, zero added sugar lemonade. It's like $3.29 for whatever the size of that is. Pretty cheap and refrigerated. Sound Factory. Pretty famous studio right there, the Sound Factory. The kind of fun stuff on the back streets.
It's gonna help your relationships. Yep.
I'm gonna cross over to Cosmo Street. It's the sunnier side of the street, but this is where the farmers market is. Also, the Museum of Death. I mean, the Museum of Unaliving. I kind of love those. Hey, if it's your first, hey! Mighty Bull, welcome, welcome. Hey, to all of you guys. We celebrate our 1 year next month, and if you're here and watching and you wouldn't mind, please, we'd love to get to 2K by the end of August, so please give a sub. We're pretty friendly. And chat. Let me know what you want them to look like and we'll make them for you. All right, we're going to continue. I've never gone into the Museum of Death, but I mean unaliving, but one day. It is $20. I can't bring a burger, a fry, or a coffee. I wonder if I can. I think I would have to make that a members video because it claims to be very graphic. So I'd have to lock it down. The Spotlight Club, when I first moved here, I'm gonna take right here. We'll wiggle back down. Was also a really old gay bar. I mean, it's been revamped since then, but it was like stepping back into the 1960s, which I was never alive during. So I'm not really sure. Sorry. I think, Mary, I would find it interesting if somebody else made a video and I could watch. I love scary stuff and ghosty stuff and spooky stuff and the like, but did I say gory? I really don't like gory stuff. I don't like the sight of, I don't know if you can say the B word. I don't like seeing that kind of stuff. But it doesn't prevent me from watching a movie. It's kind of like Heights. Like, I don't know where the fear came. I do know where the fear for the blood came from, but that's a story for another day.
You streaming, big dog?
I am.
How many people you got on with you?
Right now we got 55.
Oh, 55? Can I do a drop real quick?
Sure, what's your drop?
Alright, it's your boy Trapanese, Trapanese.
Excellent.
You know what I'm saying? I make beats. I got studio time, so lock in with me. What's your name?
Walking in LA. I'm Charlie. All right.
My
Have a
page
good day.
is Trapanese, Trapanese. I got you.
All
That's
right.
a nice camera too, by the way.
It's just an iPhone.
It's just a no. The one is that speaker on top?
Oh no, this is the.
That's the rig.
Yeah.
Oh, and it got the volume and everything.
Right. Yeah. So I can block out the music sometimes and block out the people calling me up, and people saying shit about LA.
Yeah.
Take care.
Make your money, bro.
I will. Take care. I really hope you can hear people. If you can't, it's almost worth me turning down my noise cancellation. Hey, DC. So truthfully, I kind of wanted to walk down the other street that we just passed. So we're going to walk over a block and walk back down. We'll go up into the shade. Mary. Okay, cool. Sorry, that was my impersonation of Jack Hay. I can do a much better one. And for all you mystery lovers, Raymond Chandler Square. I think I mentioned this on another live stream, but there is a book with a map in it where you can... I don't know who they made it for. I think most Raymond Chandler fans are probably pretty old. Wait, that's awesome. Where are you, DC? Thanks, Ty. He asked if I knew you. He makes beats. God knows I definitely love beets, both the vegetable and the beet. How is it in San Diego? I wish I could control the commercials better, actually. Or I wish I knew when the commercials were coming on. San Diego's a pretty cool place to visit. You definitely, I'm sure you already have gone to like Old Town. That's obviously my favorite spot of all. And then, if you're younger and into drinks, I think the gas lamp district is pretty fun to party in. Right? I hope we see, maybe we'll see his star. There was something going on it last night, but I was busy mad editing that video. That video was only supposed to be 3 minutes. That's why it took me an extra like 3 hours to edit. I saw a blooper in it this morning, sorry. That wasn't truthfully my scene when I visited there. I visited there twice. I stayed at, like a Best Western, like just off the gas lamp district. I'd never stayed at a Best Western before, and this place was janky. And then I stayed at a hotel that had like a letter, like the M Hotel or something like that. That place, a little bit nicer. But sometimes it's okay to stay at a janky motel because you don't, hotel or motel, so I always don't go on vacation to hang out in a hotel. No, it was when I was editing it, it wasn't really a blooper, but it was two things. When I said something, it didn't sound like I ended the sentence properly. And then there was something where like an image lasted a second too long. I'm just learning, but the interest for me is really the story. And then putting those visuals, I think, kind of make it interesting for me also, and for you. I mean, I'm sure you don't want to just listen to me talk too much. You know, there's a building I would really love to live in. It's on Hollywood Boulevard. It's 5727, I think. You can look it up. It's called the Escrow Center. I don't know if that's the exact address, but it's this building built in right before the stock market, a bank. It's like federal style. It just looks chunky and big, and it's got some columns in the front. I would want to live there. So I use Wondershare, and it has a lot of tutorials. Oh my gosh, these folks have Price is Right t-shirts on. I love it. You know where they were. And look at that building. What? There's a Price is Right t-shirt on? Should I interview him? You know what I keep thinking now that Stephen Colbert is gone? I never really watched Stephen Colbert, but what a terrible situation that looks like. Is that I don't watch Jimmy Kimmel either, because I mostly watch YouTube. So sometimes a YouTube clip of one of their shows. Both good people. I like them both. It would be really sad if Jimmy Kimmel's show got canceled, because to you and me, it's another late night show that we probably don't watch. Some of us do. But I feel like it gives a pulse to downtown Hollywood that show is filmed there. I should take a day and try to get on The Price is Right. After I get my Meta glasses, my Ray-Ban Meta glasses, so I can record the whole experience and create a members video. I do have a friend, very, 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 very wealthy friend, whose parent, what a beautiful car, might have started their fortune from winning on a game show. I don't want to give you too many details. I don't think that person watches, but is the Scottish guy still on? I love the Scottish guy too. Craig. Alright, we're gonna tip down just to stay in the shade. We'll come back up. Look, this is RuPaul World. We walk by it all the time. RuPaul, Drag Race, Spania, Italia, France, Philippines, Belgium. Craig Ferguson, he's lovely. There's a RuPaul's Drag Race Belgium. What about Luxembourg? Did they get a RuPaul's Drag Race? Hey, Brandon. Wally World. I don't know if I said hi to you or started talking to you. I just assumed that we're all here in the same space, so I'll just start replying to people sometimes. Dun, dun, dun. They've got orchids and all kinds of different toast and gummy bears. Hold on. Guess what? We are... Okay, I don't want to make any promises, but we are 99% sure we're going to go to the beach also on Saturday. And you know I love a classic car. I was thinking about a classic car today on my way, and I think if I were going to get a classic car, it would be something different than anything I've ever had. And when I say classic cars, that means I've bought a car from the 70s or 80s on the side of Fountain Avenue for around $1,000. But if I were going to get a classic car, I'd probably get a Saab 900. I try not to make promises. I think my legs are bigger than my stomach. I mean, that didn't really work out so well, did it? For August, though, we're going to catch up on some of the things that we have said we've wanted to do. for a while. We're definitely going to go to Catalina. I'm just trying to get Joe to do it on a weekday. In September, I'm going to go to Huntington Gardens. I just want to wait for it to get a little cooler. I'm going to catch up at some point with the Hollywood Museum now that I'm not afraid to go inside and film. That's all right. You know, one time I took oxycodone. I didn't know what it was. I'm not even joking. My friend, I think it was prescribed to me for some dental work. This was way back when Prince was still alive, because that's the point of the story. And I'm not like a swinging party person, but we went to go see Prince. Opening for Prince was Chaka Khan. Pretty amazing. And I took my painkiller with a margarita. Whoo-hoo! Yeah. It was a pretty awesome night, I have got to tell you. Chaka Khan opened. Whitney Houston came on stage to sing I'm Every Woman, which is Chaka's song. Chaka was really graceful. And Whitney Houston would not leave the stage. Like, they practically had to get the hook and pull her off the stage. But I got to see Prince and Whitney Houston and Chaka Khan. I'm gonna get in trouble because AC/DC loves to sue. I'm gonna have to take that right out. Time check 27:24. I was B-tripping. I might have even split the pill with my friend who asked me for half of it. She was a person who knew what was going to happen. I was kind of naive. I pretty much been just a California sober drug doer. If that makes any sense. Okay, we shouldn't talk about that. I only like natural stuff. Hey, LA Unknown. You used to live on Yucca, right? I think we might have passed your old apartment where it used to be. That's where I started today. So 2 things I need to do in this year, not for the stream, is I need to go to one of these cool little theaters like Hang On to the Dream Theater. There's so many little theaters in my neighborhood. You know, the staircase, like to walk into the building on the very corner, like the Argyle side, is still there. So we never walk too far down the street or come from that direction. There's Michelli's or Michelli's, Hollywood's oldest Italian restaurant. That'll be another one for the Meta Ray-Ban goggles whenever I get those. I haven't. I actually don't go to Beverly Hills that often, or even West Hollywood. They're kind of on the farthest. I just skip them and go right to Santa Monica. It's not that I don't like West Hollywood or Beverly Hills. Well, there you go. We will be there. I was going to wait for Joe to say anything. We're back up on Hollywood Boulevard. I'm just trying to stay in the shade. Because I wish we could walk in the Egyptian theater. We cannot. If you ever really want to see what it looks like behind the gate, I would suggest booting up LA Noire. You can walk all the way to the door. I used to love that song. Was that Jane Weedlin from the Go-Go's and Sparks? Coo, coo, coo. It's a summer song. I think I was probably the only person that bought her solo album, Fur. We've got Scientology Conundrum. Kinda. No, I was just trying to remember the tune to that song. You know, Sparks is underrated, I think. He was definitely cool. Cool. So, as we all know, it's Wednesday. It's pretty crowded down here for a Wednesday, actually. I love LA Noire too. I literally locked myself in a house for a week playing LA Noire. We're never gonna go in here, but if I were gonna visit, I probably would. I don't think it's worth the live stream though. You're talking about the guy with the white frock? I had to do a double take at them because I thought it was a lady in a white caftan. I don't know what the holdup is here. Oh, you guys, I do now. So here we are at Ozzy Star. I was like, what is the whole? I should have just. We're never gonna see the star, but goodness gracious. Hey, I'm sorry. Hey, the lady probably thought I was yelling at her. All right, well, you can't really. I was a little more sad about. I'm a little sad about having to delete that song later. I'm kidding, it was a real sad thing for a lot of people. I never really paid much attention to Ozzy, but he definitely was part of my life. I was like, why are you saying New King of the Hill? Only because there's a giant poster over there. We're gonna diagonal cross. AC/DC again. Oh, I bet it's closed for the Freakier Friday premiere. We'll wiggle our way that way. I don't know why I keep saying wiggle. Oh, you recognize the song. Shoot. Has anybody seen the commercial for this movie, Weapons, yet? I have to say, I kind of want to see it. I know, and I just picked walking through Hollywood. I sometimes love diagonal crosswalks. I mostly love diagonal crosswalks. I feel like on occasion I could just really skip across the part of the street that has a red light, but I really try to obey all traffic laws. Crazy Train. The Osbournes were ridiculous. Absolutely. But like, what a kind of crazy impact he had on culture. Music, again, I never really was into Ozzy. A lot of kids that I knew growing up, though, everybody loved Black Sabbath, the metalheads, right? I was into new wave, totally different head. Oh, and I loved that song too, Skip to the Loo. I'm still skipping to the loo. I watched the recap of his life last night. I just remember he peed on the Alamo. I'm from Los Angeles. We're proud of him too. If it wasn't for him, the Kardashians, they wouldn't have a show. Really cool thing, this movie plays movies. This church plays movies. I don't like the Kardashians either. I mean, especially that mother. She's a not nice lady. Personal experience. Not nice lady. And that Chloe, not too smart. I'm kidding. Maybe she is smart. The one time that I saw her didn't seem like it. I shouldn't judge her for that. I really also don't watch the Kardashians, but they did make quite a name for themselves and also changed popular culture. Do you think probably for the worse? Right? That is exactly. I had a friend who lived in that weird apartment building on the end. We're not going to walk down there. They weren't actually a friend. They were a friend of a friend. And it was like one of those 1920s apartment buildings. It was a bachelor, so it has like a kitchen room and then a living room. And the living room had like a Murphy bed pull-out. Very, very weird and vintage. But RuPaul is like I can't do it right now, air quotes, but a contest. Kardashians is just like a pageant. I don't watch RuPaul that much either, but I have been known to watch a season or two. There have been some pretty talented, hilarious contestants. What I hate about those shows is when people start to turn on each other. We have been watching... Perfect. We've been watching The Circle, which I know it's probably ended like 3 months ago, but we cycle through our subscription so don't have everything all at the same time, and then we build up tons of stuff to watch. So we haven't had Netflix for about 4 months. I kind of feel like we should get Netflix free because I can see it from my parking spot. I feel like that's the thing to do. You know, drama sells. Drama, clickbait, saying shit about things. That's what sells. That's why it's remarkable that we don't do that, and we still almost have 2,000 fans here. Across the street, if you're referring to the Nirvana, or we've also got the Magic Castle. So I'm not really sure what's behind that hedge, but it looks pretty cool. Just to go over the buildings. The thing that looks like El Paso, like the Alamo. Across, that's the historic Magic Castle. You cannot go in without an invite. I've only been one time. It's pretty magical. And then this is kind of a storied apartment building too. The Nirvana. I believe that people have, it's pretty cool, actually. It's 1775 Orange. I think you can look it up. It's got some history, some mystery history too. I don't know why I didn't cover it. Well, maybe I want to save a couple ghosts for another day. So whatever that building is, it says ASC on the monogram. I'm going to look it up. I actually wouldn't mind living right back here on Hollywood Boulevard. Or behind Hollywood Boulevard. I've lived pretty close before. I kind of love this building right here. The breeze blocks, or I don't even know if you call them breeze blocks. ACM. Thank goodness you're here today. Well, my cue for you to tell me something. Let's be line. This is the Hollywood Biltmore, not to be confused with the Biltmore downtown. Oh. I don't know what it is about this building, it's just kind of striking to me. Biltmore for someone else is what I would probably guess. This is an old parking garage, but now it's a Marshall's and a gigantic gift shop. The biggest one on Hollywood Boulevard. Hey Tom, hey BD, it seems like 60s-ish looking to me. I'm just gonna turn the sound thingy on. The song is kind of dirty. Picture driving my really slick giant boat. Sorry, got a microphone up. I picture driving my really slick giant boat car. Up the driveway, the runway. So I got distracted when that guy sneezed, or that girl sneezed. I wondered if they covered their mouth, but I didn't see. There used to be a movie theater up there. It was horrible. The Galaxy. I dented my car in the parking lot. It was my fault. If anyone's looking for a movie to rent tonight, I gotta say, Battlefield Earth is available and still being advertised. It was like there was also a club, I feel like in one of these buildings over here, that I went to too, that was kind of funky and punky, not quite punky. Someone's filming. Of course they have a... Oh, no wonder. It's the L. Ron Hubbard Theater. I didn't know he had a theater. How fantastic. Maybe I went to Tiger Heat? I don't think so. I'm gonna cut through there. You know, I was afraid somebody was going to ask to see Ozzy's star today, and I actually did not know where it was, but I'm kind of glad that we found it. All right. They changed the names of the days of the week. I thought they just added another star sign and took away a planet. Oh, we're back to Tiger Heat. Sorry. I kinda... So we're at Brea. Mashti's is just right over there. I'm not ready for ice cream yet. Yeah, I tried to like get over them so we could see his star, but honestly, it was covered with flowers. Oh, Spanky McFarland. Baby Peggy was never in the Little Rascals, by the way. Before her time. Actually, wrong studio. I looked it up. You know, I really thank you so much, BD. I have been to see movies that I've fallen asleep to a few times there. Um, what was the last movie I saw there? I mean, it was a while ago, even though it's just down the street from me. It was that really long movie about time travel with, I can't remember any of the actors in it. I fell asleep during this movie like 3 times. 3 times. It's a really, like, I kept mentioning how it was on the edge and it was sort of a punk neighborhood. It's really not too punk anymore. It's pretty up and coming or beyond up and coming. Like, that area is expensive rent. Interstellar. No, it wasn't Interstellar. It was something. I'll remember it after. Like, okay, this is how I can get us to the actor. The actor that was in it was a kid on Star Trek. And this movie was made when he was an adult. I feel like he has 3 names. Everybody talked about this movie. He wasn't the only one in it. But I can't remember because I fell asleep. I remember also going to see The Goonies in the movie theater about 3 times as a kid and falling asleep every single time. I eventually saw the end, though. And I love The Goonies. Was it Will Wheaton? It might have been Will Wheaton. Like, didn't he make movies as an adult? Like, he's an adult actor now, right? I'm confusing people, probably. I think maybe Matt Damon was in the movie also. I live in Hollywood, and I really... No, they were like in different time things. It definitely wasn't Interstellar. That was a long movie that I tried to watch a couple times more recently. So we're on La Brea. Mashti is right coming up here. I'm not copping out on the ice cream whatsoever today because I'm been thinking about it since I posted last night. But we're gonna come back to it. I've only been walking for 54 minutes. So I've telling the story before. That's the past tense of told. Kidding. I told the story before. At the beginning, this place opened in like the early 80s. I swear to God, if it's closed. It said it was open. It opened in the early 80s. That would be just like my stream. I'm gonna have to get a soft serve at McDonald's. No, it's open. I see a little chair outside. So the sign is dropping off, but it used to be there. It used to be called Mashti Malone's ice cream. And this guy from Persia bought it, from Iran bought it, and he makes these really unique flavors of ice cream. The LA Express. I don't know how many times I've had that newspaper and used it to move. the free newspaper. So the ice cream flavors are really kind of cool. He's got cucumber, which I'm not getting, rosewater and pistachio, which is definitely on my list. Where's the other sign, the cooler sign? We'll go from the other side. Raspberry and pistachio, roseberry, orange blossom. There's a flavor called the Holywood. And then they've got a bunch of other flavors. We'll go in after. They've got also Persian sorbet. They make a really cool ice cream sandwich. I figured if I have an ice cream right now, I'll probably get a little pooped out. So we'll get it in about 45 minutes. We'll circle back. We'll see how far we can go. When I first came here, here's a great story. I've told it before. I broke a tooth and I went to that dentist. And in that dentist office, this is 2008, they had a picture of their patients, pictures of their patients. One of them was Joan Crawford, who has been dead since unalive since 1977 something. Should have probably found a different dentist. Well, let us know how it works out. And I don't really have any advice. I always am also nervous whenever I get stuff done. I don't pray, but I think about you a lot. Just so you know. The Frosty Fusion. What? I need a whole... stream for that. Is Cecilia here? I know that she would want to see. So we're kind of entering the rock and roll part of Sunset. We did a walk a couple months ago. You know, I've done a lot of walks. Sometimes I think I was trying to look up Long Beach, the Long Beach walk that we took. I really have to tell one story and finish it before I move on. I do a lot of walks. And so I can't remember how long ago the walk was that we went down Sunset and did kind of a rock and roll ghosty walk. But we never made it to the 7th Veil, which has girls, Motley Crue. We definitely have tooled around Fairfax High a couple times. This is famous Amos Square. This is where those little tiny cookies that are probably not that good anymore. I never knew that. That's where he opened Famous Amos, which is now a restaurant. We did kind of a rock and roll walk, but it really turned out to be more like 60s and 70s. I think we did talk a little bit about Motley Crue. On Friday, I'm going to do a sunset walk. And I think what I was thinking of was probably starting from around here at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock because sunset's like 8:03 and that's a good nice. And just head west and then maybe dip down to West Hollywood. So I think we'll be doing the Sunset Strip at sunset. Or the golden hour leading into sunset. So I don't know if you were here, BD, Saturday. Tomorrow we're going to Long Beach, right? 12:15. Gonna take you to the Queen Mary that is. Then Friday, I'm gonna do an evening walk, Sunset Strip. We just kind of cemented that. Saturday we're gonna go to Venice Beach. So you guys get 2 beach days this week, 2 totally different beach days this week. And to boot, there's a car show. This place has been really kind of vintage for a while. I could totally see an optometry shop over here. There's a T-Mobile. That's new. I used to drive all the way down here to get my dog food. Major pain in the arse. I don't even remember what dog food I was buying, but the only place to buy it was at this store coming up ahead. They're lovely. They do pet grooming. I never had my pet groomed there. Just really, 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 really lovely little pet food store. It's just ridiculous for me to drive 2 miles to get pet food when I could walk. I feel like when we hear that song, Nobody Walks in LA, like this is a street that nobody should walk down. It's so hot. I love fancy pet food. I would love to get them, I forgot what it's called. We make a joke and we call it Farmer's Daughter, but it's like Farmer's Dog, or one of those kind of foods. Hell, if I had a nicer kitchen or a bigger space, I would venture to try to make my own dog food. I would just worry that I wasn't making it with enough like L-theanine or whatever dogs need. My dogs did have a nice salad today though. I made lunch before I left so I could prime myself for ice cream, and instead of lettuce I used shredded broccoli, carrots, and something else, maybe cauliflower. It's the shred, I call it. It gives a nice crunchy texture to your sandwich. Why are sandwiches so good? I wish I could not eat bread. I know there's wraps, but it's not the same. And then I gave some shred to the dogs. They love it. So, as you can see, not so open anymore, but like this whole area I don't know, ask Joe why a sandwich someone made is so good. I definitely make the sandwiches. I use extra mayonnaise. Also, yeah, please subscribe. We are trying to get to 2,000 by the end of August, which will be our 1 year of walk-in anniversaries. We're gonna do something special besides eat Fudgy the Whale ice cream cake. But a Fudgy the Whale is in Ordnung, I think. So out of all these music stores that used to be open down here, you know, Sam Ash kind of breaks my heart because they were really helpful in there. I had to buy a drum machine, it might have been. I was buying some music equipment. It could have been a drum machine, it could have been a mini keyboard or something. And I had gone to Guitar Center for a long time. I went in there, and this was probably 2009, and the person answered their cell phone while I was in the middle of a sentence, and I was like, oh, come on. Like, this is before people did that, you know? I wasn't just being like Grandpa Simpson. And I just walked out. And I walked across the street. Actually, I didn't walk across the street. I walked over to the drum shop. And I explained what I needed. And the guy was like, oh, we don't have that here. And he like walked me out the store and walked me over to that side and continued to help me. It was a really nice experience. I continued to shop there as long as they were open. In fact, I always want to learn to play bass guitar for some reason. I think right before they closed, we went there to like price them out, and I said we'd be back. That's pretty awesome. We sing them all the time. Oh, yes. Another little tribute. Oh. Right? Take that, Birmingham. I'm just kidding. Hopefully Birmingham has some setups like that too. There's a movie I watched a while ago, maybe last summer, maybe in like January, called Model Shop. And it takes place, it's a French movie made in America, very Frenchy though. And it takes place like in this sort of area, also in Venice Beach or maybe Santa Monica when there were tons of oil rigs still there. It's incredible to see. The movie kind of lost me a little bit. It was a little too dreamy. I do like some good French movies though. I am so hot, and it's not that hot. That Guitar Center is huge. But if you're still looking for anything horn related, I highly suggest the Horn Connection for everything for winds. Their area code is not there because that's how vintage the Horn Connection is. It's in our closet, Joe. We ought to get them down to the Horn Connection. I don't know what's wrong with them. So I want to obviously get a closer look at the Horn Connection and its vintage sign goodness, but cute little shops. What a nice little building. You know, that Guitar Center makes the Horn Connection look like a mom and pop shop. Oh, they get their full number there. 323. I love it. What about it, Joe? Should we get those trumpets restored? Maybe I'll learn to play the trumpet. What happens if that Guitar Center closes? That's what I kind of wonder. It has all of those iconic handprints in front of it. Some of them are like from the 90s, right? Like, what do they do with all those? Like, imagine if you were going to open a little restaurant. I really wouldn't want those handprints there. Or maybe I would. I agree, it's always sad. I just think we have too many stores than we need now with the intranet. He had a horse named Basketball. That is awesome. And if I just misunderstood you, don't correct it because that's still awesome. Okay, we're still going to Mashti Malone's, but Friday night. Yeah, the owner of In-N-Out is moving to Tennessee. Oh, that's John Kelly Chocolates. The owner of In-N-Out is moving to Tennessee with... They're keeping most of the stuff here. I feel like that story, it looked like she was leaving California because it's so horrible and expensive. She is leaving because it's expensive, but they're opening up something there, what I heard her say, because she's probably backtracking because they're a California business and they're leaving California. She's moving somewhere where I feel like she said people at their call center, I wasn't fully listening, could earn a living and afford their rent. But what about the people in the stores that sell the burgers? That's they are pretty highly paid though. I don't really like In-N-Out Burger. I don't really go there that often because I really don't like a Bible verse on a wrapper. Yeah, that maybe sounds like they're keeping their headquarters here, but nobody at their headquarters can afford housing in Los Angeles. She said something about only moving something there. Just when I see stories like that, I'm like, oh, the Republicans are going to love this. Maybe. It depends on if they put it on edible paper. It's amazing what exists in the world of cake. So, the other thing is, like, I don't care for In-N-Out's fries, because if you don't eat them the second you get them, they are so natural and fresh. I know it sounds terrible. That they taste like potato sticks, like jerky potato sticks. I would have to say though, the main reason I don't go there, Bible verse aside, I really actually don't care about that. I'm just trying to be controversial, is that there's always a line. And I have to tell you, in Los Angeles, there's always a better burger. Why would you draw on Whitney Houston's chin? Whitney, Aaliyah, we're gonna miss someone. Selena, and Amy Winehouse. Check your labels. Beyond Burger has enough sodium in it to kill a horse. So just don't eat fake meat. Don't eat meat. Low in saturated fat. 6 grams of fat per serving. I'll still eat it occasionally. It does have a lot of sodium. I have a recipe for ribs we need to make, and we posted a couple weeks ago. I just have not actually gone to the grocery store aside from getting a cucumber, avocados, and a lemon. I'm not sure who Jenny Rivera is, but that is pretty awesome. I really would love to play bass. So we're just gonna walk down this street for fun. If you know, you know. And I'll tell ya. The funny thing is about sodium levels is they're usually printed on the front of packages now. However, in the ad, they're not printed on the front of packages. I don't know if sodium is a lie or it's really, truly bad for you. I pressed the button for sure. Ooh, let me plug up. Yes, sodium is definitely just like salt. So, I generally will say that sodium does bloat you up for sure. There's no doubt to that. I'm gonna push my top down, sorry. There's no doubt about that. However, I don't know if it's really as bad for you as people think. It's kind of like cholesterol. Like we have cholesterol naturally in our brain. And you definitely literally need salt to live. I had a stroke, and one of the things the doctor told me to do was not have salt or watch my salt. And I had so little salt, I was starting to get worried that I would have some salt issues. I think Joe had a friend whose mother was restricting her salt and got sick from not having enough salt. So the only reason I'm walking down the street is that's Freddy Krueger's house from the original movie. I'm only whispering it because the guy that lives there, I don't think likes people filming. And everybody's a gardener today. Everybody's got gardeners today. And that's the house that Johnny Depp lived in. Right over there. Those people have fun with it. They really decorated it for Halloween. I came here in October to make a Freddy Krueger video. Long story. That's the house from Elm Street. And then that's the original one, right? Maybe the first two. And that's the house that Johnny Depp lived at in the first one. Over there. In the movie. Fred is such a good horticulturist that he got those bushes to cover his place. There's another house over here from Halloween. But I've walked through this neighborhood and people look at you weird when you have a camera. So this is just below Hollywood Boulevard, right? Or now actually below Sunset. No, below Hollywood. Sorry. Sunset. Do I have heat stroke? No. I forgot that we went down. Amber Heard. I saw excerpts from it. I feel bad for them both. Oh yeah, it was not good, but look at me, I'm talking with a Minnesota accent I never had before. And I'm so OCD about all of my levels of everything that I'm pretty healthy. Right? The crazy thing is, when I was down here October 2024, that black car was parked there. It actually doesn't even look like it's moved. No, I'm not taking a picture of you in your red Tesla. You know, that's a really lovely thing about California is stuff doesn't rust. So you can get a really old car that just looks beautiful on the outside and is rotten on the inside. I've done it a couple times. I think I mentioned early on, I was thinking about vintage cars. I had a 71 Mercedes. It was just lovely. 240D or 420D, sorry. 240D diesel. Beige hubcaps, actually camel colored leather seats, perforated, tear in it. It was great to drive in the daytime. I didn't know, but the gas needle didn't work. And the dashboard light didn't work. And the sunroof, you had to operate by yourself. It never rains in California, so the windshield wipers also didn't work. I remember I was stuck in a storm and I had to use yarn to pull the windshield wipers back and forth, me and my friend, till the yarn snapped. And the alternator was gone, so I constantly had to bring the battery back to Home Depot. And they would just give me a new one. I'd be like, this doesn't work. I'd go to 4 different Home Depots. Definitely had put my car battery in a shopping cart and pushed it at least 2 times. I got to know how the gas worked, and I never had run out of gas. But not having the dashboard work or the lights in the dashboard work was kind of a little scary. I had to buy little add-on things to light it up at night. And then it exploded. It cost me $900. And I drove it for a year. It was cheaper than a car payment and cheaper than renting a car, so I think I won. And then I donated it to Cars for Kids and got a tax write-off. I learned that when I lived in Boston. I also had an alternator, a Volkswagen with an alternator issue. And one day I was driving home and all of a sudden it was raining and the alternator, or the windshield wiper motor, was broken. That was the early 90s. And in those days you could just go buy another motor and pop it in, which I did. I just kind of I used to smoke cigarettes all the time, so I feel like having a gas gauge that didn't work, I would get gas and get cigarettes. So I was getting gas every couple days anyway. And I've never driven that far. And then I had an electric car for a while, which was all kinds of fun. I really don't mean that. I mean, it was fun at first. And then other people started getting them, and I couldn't get my electric spots anymore. That's hilarious. That is very lucky. I told the story about us going to 420 Fest in the Boston Common, and somebody was in the car, was partaking, and we got pulled over, and they just ate a burning non-cigarette. Platinum Collision Center. Hey, Florida retailer. Realtor. I think I did that last time. I do want to take a sec to thank my members. I think I have missed a couple opportunities. We are definitely heading to Mashti's now. I feel the heat. I feel like I've earned some ice cream. No, they literally just swallowed it. I don't even, like, obviously I had partaken in it because, like, I can't imagine a cop pulling people over. That car must have stunk, even though he just ate it. And he was just like, okay, bye. I don't even remember what he pulled us over for. And it was also 420. The Tesla diner did open. We saw it a couple days before when it was just showing the Jetsons. It's just a couple blocks down that way and that way. Let's see, Sierra Bonita. After we cross, I think it might be on the corner of Sycamore. It's not completely out of our way to walk there. We'll take a walk and see what it's like. We've only ever seen it with the fence up. Let me just make sure I'm plugged in. Oh, hilarious. By the way, I did not lose a cord the other day. But I almost did right now. Okay. Hold on. All right, we are charging. I forgot to actually plug the cord into the charging part. Away we go. All right. Gonna. Let's take a right here. We will walk down Santa Monica Boulevard. We'll take a look at the Tesla. We're not buying anything there. Let's take our next street. I think the crazy. There's a really cool gallery. Some pictures. Sorry, of David Bowie and Tina Turner. This Mexican restaurant is awesome. I don't know if it's still open. I haven't been here for years, but it's everything you want a Mexican restaurant to be. It's a little more restaurant than I think authentic, though. I'm always wearing shorts. Actually, I really need to invest in like 2 more pair of shorts. I'm a literal Bart Simpson. They're usually navy shorts. I think I have a khaki t-shirt on today. Right, please do, if you're here, give us an old like and subscribe. We'd love to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of August. So it will be our 1 year anniversary. Well, that's a kind of fun blast from the past. I guess Buckingham Nicks are putting out an album. I'm kidding, it's an old album, I'm sure, being re-released. Sorry, they both look so young. There we go. I feel like they were, I don't really know that much about Fleetwood Mac history. I feel like that was the band they were in before they were in Fleetwood Mac, though. Their hair is so shiny. So let's turn down this way. We're gonna walk to the Tesla diner, then walk back up. Oh, I lost my chat. Hollywood is actually, I don't even think we have a mayor. I think our mayor is Karen Bass. If you were to write me a letter, you would write to Los Angeles, California. Whenever I would, do you write letters? Or send me mail that says Los Angeles, California. Although if I send a letter to somewhere, which I haven't sent a letter for, or a card for probably a number of years, I always write Hollywood, California. I think it's fun to see. I wonder what the famous Amos cookies were like back in the day versus the way we've had them now. Like, they're usually cheap cookies in a package where they're a bunch of tiny cookies all together. He got screwed, Amos, so many times, though. I feel like I read the famous Amos cookie story at some point. Of course, they were actors, African-American guys. They got screwed by the studios. Some manager probably screwed Amos out of money. The cookie thing, like, went bust and he tried to start another business. He sold the business. And that's when my history with famous Amos comes into play. Probably, I know it's hard to believe, Hollywood took advantage of a lot of people, starting with Baby Peggy. I'm just going to bring it right back to Baby Peggy. Oh, don't be sorry. Los Angeles is almost like a borough, right? I mean, Hollywood is almost like a borough, but you don't write, like when you write to someone who lives in Manhattan, you wouldn't write Manhattan. You would write New York, whatever, 100, blah, whatever the zip code is. So that's what kind of Hollywood is like. In Silver Lake, you don't write Silver Lake either. Or Los Feliz. Beverly Hills, you write Beverly Hills. And sometimes when you're right on the corner, they make you write Beverly Hills. On the edge, they make you write Beverly Hills also. West Hollywood, though, that is its own city. That has its own mayor. West Hollywood was an unincorporated city for a very long time, I think up until the early 80s. There's a picture literally of Joan Jett on, I think, Santa Monica Boulevard before it was paved. Hey, Francisco. If you just arrived, my screen is pretty dark. Thank you for the thank you. So I might miss a couple things here and there. But no, you're welcome. And if I just start responding to your question, I definitely saw you. I think mountain bike Mike, I never said hi, but I just started responding. Also because I feel like you're right here. All right. Bel Air is like a gated community. I don't really know if it's a city. I think it's sort of like a compound. It's also a cigarette that had a little bit of menthol in it. Former First Lady Nancy Reagan, who was friends with Rock Hudson, and I'll leave it at that. I do like that she was into psychics, though. I'll give her that. So, North Fuller. We're going to cross at Fuller. We might lose connection for a second in between Fuller and Hollywood, Santa Monica Boulevard, because we have walked through this area. I think we went to Normandy Towers, which is over on Poinsettia. That's that complex that Charlie Chaplin built, and it looks like a little, like the French countryside stuck in between 1920s apartment buildings. We lose our signal going there. Wagoneer. I think it's more the Jeep Wagoneer. It's more car than I could probably handle or need, but MacArthur Park is melting. MacArthur Park isn't the hot spot for bootleg goods anymore. Santee Alley, it's all about Santee Alley. Sorry. You know, I read an article about where they thought about rejoining the two sides of the park, which is kind of a weird idea, because I think it I just had to switch to LTE. Well, where we started today on Argyle in the 90s was pretty insane, and now it's got expensive, fancy, high-rise apartments. So I think the cool part is the neighborhoods get better. The bad part of that is sometimes they push the people out who made them interesting in the first place. So if we buffer here, I apologize. We have to walk through to get to where we're going. So we have to walk through here to get to where we're going, but I just want to take this way because It's more interesting than Fuller, in my opinion. And it looks like we're having some signal success for now. It's the most confusing turn you'll ever make. One way is Poinsettia Place, the other is Poinsettia Drive. I know it's not Poinsettia, I can't help it. You're just lucky I didn't spell it that way, so. This is kind of insane. And when I first discovered it, I was like, what the what? We're never going to see enough of it because it's hidden by this hedge, but it was built by Charlie Chaplin. We should be out of the buffer, let me know. How cool, huh? They just list it as a historic property, but they don't say much more about it. Last time we walked up this street, it started buffering right when we got to Chaplin's place. So at the end of the street, we're going to go left. We're going to pass La Brea just a little bit because we definitely want to get back to Mashti's. But the Tesla restaurant just opened up. I will say, I saw it on TV, and we saw it kind of the other day. It looks kind of cool, but it reminds me of just like the Brown Derby. Like, how long are we going to be into this weird shaped building? But it's worth seeing. We saw a lot of hits today so far. We still haven't conquered my cone, but that's coming. We saw Ozzy Star, another tribute to Ozzy Osbourne. I have to redo my thumbnail. And we're going to go to the Tesla Cafe. I'm not going to put that in my thumbnail. Right? It seems very Jetsony, and it's all stainless-y steel on the outside. It kind of bums me out. Like, I really wanted to like what I like what he's, like, the electric car. I really wanted to like it. I just cannot with him. I know, I sound like a queen there. I cannot with him. Maybe I am. But I really just can't. I have a V6 engine, and that's the new McDonald's. I'm just kidding. I have a V6 engine, and my car is pretty good on gas. I think it's because I grew up in New England. I feel like people in the Northeast walk really fast, and people look grumpy in New England or grumpy in Boston because they're cold. They're not grumpy, and they're walking fast. I really do walk pretty fast. Joseph does too. We're a match made in Helsinki. The worst part is I almost never remember to set my watch like I did today. So this is an old studio, and behind that is the Oprah Winfrey Network. And I'll tell you what studio it was when we do our studio walk, which we will, studio history walk. I'll try to fit that in next week. I would have done it on Thursday, but we're going to Long Beach. And then I would have done it on Friday, but it's a sunset walk and I have notes to read sometimes. Oh crap. Poinsettia. Oh yeah, it's this way. For 1 second I thought I didn't walk far enough. This used to be a really awesome kind of bar and restaurant, and then somebody crashed into the corner of it. I don't know if it ever opened. Back up. Oh. Formosa, that's lovely and historic.
Like she dated your best friend and then they broke up.
Electric cars, though, back on the topic, they're really a smooth ride. I felt like my electric car was like driving an electric skateboard almost. Like you just hit the pedal and it would poof. I'm sure the Tesla's lovely to drive. My whole thing, though, about an electric car too is my car it would only get like 100 miles and then it had a tiny gas tank that would charge it a little more. But like, what if I need to go 250 miles to escape? I ain't got time to wait for a charge. So welcome. Oh, I haven't gone to Carl's Jr. for a really long time. I almost said I missed it, but I never really got into Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr. was my first fast food experience when I crossed the border into New York, into California when I moved here. So it was a Carl's Jr. in the desert, and it had no bathroom mirrors, just like metal that was all scratched up, and the sink only had cold water. It was disgusting. Didn't stop me from going to Carl's Jr. again. But I quickly became a Jack in the Box fan. Hey, Joey B.
Wait.
Somebody is cranking a flock of seagulls. Oh, did you see that cute little Mercedes that just went by us? That diesel smell I love it. I don't know. Whoa, okay, there's a ton of people out in front of this place. Who's Will? Oh, Will. Will, please, rest well. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll be on a little earlier, around 12:30. We'll be in Long Beach, which I don't know that you were with us last time. We're going to go to some of the same places, plus the Queen Mary. I did some research on the mole people and the buried treasure in Bunker Hill. That is awesome, lovely story. And I wish I could have found something to make that a little bit true so I could have told it. It's a fascinating story. People have covered it on YouTube before, and then I tried to think, how could I give it a slightly different angle? Okay, again, I'm not waiting an In-N-Out burger. I'm not waiting for an Elon burger either. Right? I loved Shakey's. It always said, "Happy birthday, April," or some really crazily spelt name. So fun. You can't really see the movie screen. Also, Los Angeles and Orange County have like some competition thing going. And one of the places you could get Teslas was in Orange County, so I just considered them like an old Orange County person's car. So it's open. I'm walking around it. People probably think I'm a fan. There's the restrooms if you're curious, and I know you are. Is Brave Bull here? Oh. Definitely not somewhere we'll be going on this live stream, but walk by it. I'm happy to. So the thing is, it's kind of cool, but then you start to notice in the metal like weird bends that shouldn't be there, things not lining up perfectly. It basically built like a Cybertruck. I love it though. Not the Cybertruck. I couldn't handle a Cybertruck. I did think that my car could float in the water though. I didn't get that model. I just thought it could. I kind of wondered that about the other day. So the only people that are going to see that screen are people in that apartment building. Probably like $4,000 a month. I would be mad. The screen isn't playing noise though. Like before, the last time we walked by, it was like playing a scene from the Jetsons, and there's no sound. So that's just the light. I guess it would be like living in Times Square. Is it open 24 hours? I'll make a deal with you. It's every single influencer on the face of the earth was in that line. I don't know if you noticed any of them. I'll come back and we'll walk by when it's not as busy and get a little closer look at it. But I'm not buying an Elon burger. You know, I wouldn't mind not ever getting the sunlight from the west in my apartment. In fact, if you ever move to California and your apartment faces the west, make sure you have tinted living room windows, blackout blinds, or an apartment that doesn't face the west. It's the worst. So let me take a sec to say something I've said 3 times before, but I'm going to make it 4. Please, if you're just visiting, I'm sorry about that whiny please. Please give a sub and a like. We're trying to make it to 2,000 for our 1-year anniversary. And we're just a little bit away from that. I used to have this house. I rented a house, and it was in Silver Lake. It was on a hill. It sounds way nicer than you can imagine. Like the porch was about to collapse, and every night, like coyotes would bay at the moon. Not every night, but from the yard. Like coyotes would follow me walking my chihuahua. Sometimes the water smelled because it was on top of the hill, and I don't know if you didn't use the bathroom. I don't know. Anyway, wasn't that great. But it had an awesome view. But it faced the west. So in the afternoon, no amount of air conditioning. This is probably like a house from the 30s. No amount of air conditioning would like chill that room off. It was easily like 20 degrees hotter than any other room. My bedroom faces the west. We keep the blinds drawn, the curtains drawn, except for in the early morning. It's always like 15 degrees hotter than the living room. Also, I don't have an air conditioner in there. All right, so we gotta go left to get back to Mashti and La Brea. I've lived in 4 places. I've lived here for, or maybe 5 places. I've lived here for 20 years, 23 years. So the first place, and I don't count like places I stayed. Like when I first moved here, I was staying with friends in the Inland Empire. And then when I first moved here, I rented a little tiny bungalow just down the street on Fountain past Highland. And I lived there for about 4 years. And then I moved further down Fountain to Bronson. And I lived there for 2 years. I moved out of that apartment because it was terrible. The apartment that I lived on Bronson, I've talked about it before. It was when Nickelodeon had a studio on Sunset, and I was probably not the oldest person. My next door neighbor had been a resident since 1974. It said it on his mailbox. But lots of like Nickelodeon extras and wannabe teens lived there, and they were obnoxious, like just rude. They acted like I should know who they are because I am 30 and watching Nickelodeon shows I am not. Partied all the time. But the worst part about this apartment was, and why I decided to move, was that man who lived next door to me had passed away. And the only reason I knew, and I reported it, was because they gave us free light bulbs. And they put light bulbs on everybody's doorknob. And his light bulbs were there for like 3 weeks. He was a really lovely chain-smoking dude. I could also smell his cigarettes through the wall. I always kind of wondered what his story was. He looked like he might have moved here to be a cowboy and just probably had some stories. I regret not talking to people more. I miss that Shakey's. I ate that Shakey's twice. It's where I first experienced Mojo's and wished Anila a happy birthday. I didn't even know that was a name before I lived here. The crazy thing about Mojo's is they're the same things at the grocery store. Those potato wedgies that potato wedges that have a little bit of batter on them. I used to really go for those when I was a kid. I thought I could cross. We just, on our left, I don't know why this doesn't say walk. On our left, we passed by Mickey Hargitay's florist, or floral shop. A garden shop, sorry. And he was married to Jane Mansfield. It is the same Mickey Hargitay. A mojo is like a potato wedge that you usually get them in the grocery store. And they're in like the hot section next to like chicken legs. And it's got like a little bit of batter and seasoning on it. So good. Even Food for Less has them. Like everybody has them. But the mojos are flat, right? But they're the same concept. I think I preferred the potato wedges. So BD, Shakey's is a place you would want to take like a niece or nephew to. It's not really even fun for two adults. The food is really not that good. There's a Shakey's near my house, actually. Joe and I ate there once. It's also kind of expensive for what you get, I feel like. It's really overpriced pizza. That guy had such a perfect tan. Like, I mean, we should not be talking about or getting tans anymore, but his was perfect. So right over there, little Jim Henson, the old Muppet Studios. You can still see Kermit on the top. We've walked a little closer before. I just need to be on the shady side. I do have sunscreen on today. Also a hat. Full protection. But like, I'm saying Shakey's is not good pizza, but I actually for Pizza Hut. But oh yeah, the bunch of lunch. I remember that. In another country for fast food was the McDonald's apple pie. In every single European country I could get it in. Remember when the McDonald's apple pie used to be deep fat fried and the crust would have these just insane, almost flaky pie crust bubbles on it? Well, America got healthy and stopped deep fat frying them. But in Europe, they still fry the apple pies at McDonald's so much better. My favorite thing, I think, was in Denmark. I had McNuggets skip, whatever that means. We really never eat Pizza Hut. We have one in our neighborhood. Pizza Hut is not what it used to be in the olden days. Like the Pizza Hut I grew up in was a restaurant. Now Pizza Hut is like part of Burger King, or I can't remember what it's part of. Taco Bell, Pizza Hut? So it's something like that. Or it's just like a counter, or they sell Pizza Hut at Target for a while, I feel like. Synthetics. Synthetic car oil. Oh, right, we've just done a circle since we left Mashti's. Mashti's is right up ahead. Like a lot of my videos that I make, especially the one yesterday, we end up doing something we didn't plan. We usually try to get back, so let's get back to Mashti's. We wanted to talk about the Vista, we ended up talking about baby Peggy, but who could resist the most adorable child in America in 1926? I think that's what happens to everybody. The one pizza you can count on being just meh is Domino's. Like, we get Domino's probably more than any other delivery pizza because it's easy. And if you get the thin crust Domino's pizza, it's not that bad. Right? And they're all lost. Like, that's the same mentality they took about films that we took about old buildings also. I mean, Los Angeles is always forgetting the past, or Hollywood too, like forgetting the old stuff and moving on to the next big thing. It's really unfortunate that sometimes the last big thing was a person. Fucking wait.
Yeah.
I never went to Numero Uno, but there was one on Highland for a while. We talked about Pizzeria Uno from Chicago. I love Pizzeria Uno. All right, we're gonna go into the ice cream place. Usually don't show the person behind the counter because who wants to make an ice cream scoop for me while I'm filming them? Only our friend at Paradise. He even will hold the gimbal. Please don't tell him that I went here. All right. I've never been to Quiznos. So here we go. Hi there. Oops. The Gen Z stare, I just got it. And air conditioning. All right. They have a lot of regular old flavors. I don't see the Hollywood anywhere. A cucumber. Okay. Mango. Madagascar, vanilla. No Hollywood. Oh, more. They're just the same stuff. They also have dairy free. Okay, I think I'm good. Hi there. Could I please get a cone? And then could I get Saffron Rosewater, 1 scoop of that? And then what would you recommend for my second scoop?
Did you want to do another floral or something more traditional?
Maybe something different. Like, what is your most popular flavor?
So other than the saffron and the creamy rose water,
Mm-hmm.
I would say like our Turkish coffee that we're actually out of, we only have the vegan option of that.
Mm-hmm.
Also our French lavender and the orange blossom. Those are more like floral though.
The orange blossom I read about sounds so good. I'll try the vegan coffee you said. Okay, perfect. Just I'll get a waffle cone. Thank you so much.
Do you have a preference which flavor goes on the bottom?
I do not.
Okay.
I'm just really so excited to try it actually.
Is it your first time?
Yeah, I've driven by 100 times. I've lived here for 20 years. And then I was like, I'm gonna go today because I usually get a snack on live stream on Wednesdays. And it's usually ice cream, but always good ice cream. And I couldn't wait to try it. I'm really excited. Thank you so much.
Of course. Put our sign on off day.
That's all right. That sign is older than both of us.
If you guys just like updated and a few nights ago somebody threw some member at it.
Fun stuff,
Yeah. Hollywood.
right?
And that was saffron rosewater, right?
No, the saffron rosewater pistachio. Please, sorry. No, I'm gonna eat it with my hand. I mean, you know how I'm. Okay.
So much.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. Cheers. All right. I'm gonna sit in the sun for a second. You are just in time. We got saffron, pistachio. No soft serve. Or maybe they do, I didn't look for it. They're really known for these really kind of cool flavors. There's a man screaming, we're not gonna listen to him. I'm actually gonna sit down and eat this. So excited. Cecilia, I would have held it and it would have melted waiting for you. So, the saffron pistachio is so good. It's Rosewater, saffron, pistachio. She was also very nice and did not give me the Gen Z stare. I was joking. At first I thought. So this guy came from Iran. He's Persian. And with his last little bit of money, after being he always loved making ice cream. This is what I read about him. He always loved Mashti. He always loved making ice cream. And he had worked in a restaurant. And he like saved and bought this place. It was called Muggsy Malones, actually. And he thought he could save money by just switching the name to Mashti. And honestly, I cannot believe I've never come here before. Secondarily, I can't believe I didn't grab any napkins. This Mashti. You definitely know this place. If you walk down Brea from Hollywood Boulevard, it's on the right side, and I'll show you the sign when we leave. You know this place. So I got vegan coffee ice cream. She said that would be a good compliment. I have to admit, she is 100% correct. So, I haven't tried Molly Malone's. But when I was looking for somewhere to go today, to eat around here, it did mention a ice cream parlor on Hollywood Boulevard called C.C. Brown's that Clark Gable used to go to, which has not been open for like 40 years. I can't tell you how excited I was about that one, because I was like, wait, that's right near, oh my gosh, that's right near, I knew where it was near, but then, and I couldn't imagine it, so I thought I was gonna just see something that had never been there before, kind of like the Brigadoon of ice cream parlors. Oh, hey, Cecilia, thanks. It was coincidence that I waited for you. Are you guys going to be around tomorrow? We're going to go to Long Beach. I already put the thing up, so And Friday we're going to walk on Sunset Boulevard at sunset, about 6 o'clock. Saturday, Cecilia, this just popped up. We're going to be going to Venice Beach. So 2 beach days this week. And then Sunday, I'm going to be pooped, but we'll find something to do. Thank you so much, Cecilia. You definitely mean a lot to us as our first and premier member. I would love to give you some fireworks for your donation. Thank you so much. Super sweet. We got something for everybody. We got Long Beach and Venice Beach over the next couple days, and Sunset Boulevard. The fancy end. Okay. The other thing this place is known for are their ice cream sandwiches. So, the ice creams to try here, from what I've read, again, Cecilia and the ice cream. Both. The lavender is really good. The cucumber, which I just really can't do, kids. I'm down to the coffee. The pistachio Rosewater, which is what I got. Let's hope we get some free pancakes. Joseph is, yeah, Joe is definitely looking forward to Venice. It is his, what do you call that? Happy place. I have to say, it's one of my happy places too. This is the vegan ice cream is actually so good. So, something for everybody here. Vegan ice cream and regular ice cream. Thanks, Nick. So you guys, I'm turning into a super long stream, but let's keep going. I need to walk off this ice cream a little bit. We are gonna walk back down Hollywood Boulevard for a little bit towards my home. What's crazy about the contaminated coast, I always wonder when I see people fishing off the pier, because that's one of the places they tell you not to swim. But people gotta eat. So, actually, that's not the sign that caught my eye. Or maybe that sign used to look a little more like the other one. It's the one that's inside that girl told me that somebody threw a cement brick at. That kind of caught my eye. That ice cream was so good. I haven't had a shitty ice cream on this stream yet, have I? No. Oh my god. Well, my temperature dropped about 10 degrees. Let's get it back up enough in time to head to McDonald's and get a little shake for the walk. I'm kidding. Walk home. I didn't even ask I know that Ben and Jerry's makes a vegan ice cream with sunflower butter, and I love sunflower butter as a sweet, as a savory. So good. And it's really good. There's something about the thickness of it that just seems a little off. We saw Ozzy Star on the way. We'll try to walk by it again, because if this walk has been anything, it has been a crazy train. I wonder what the likelihood of us getting free pancakes again tomorrow. How many Guinness Book of World Records can IHOP break? I made it, well, remember when we started doing this, I was like, gonna eat a meal on Wednesdays or get like food from a food cart. It's impossible to do when I'm by myself. I mean, it's not impossible, but like when I ate the noodles in the restaurant by myself, I was like almost said hyper paranoid. I wasn't paranoid. I was just hyper conscious of everything going on. I felt like the waiter, super nice, was also like acting extra nice for the camera. I don't know. I felt like it put people under pressure. That's why I never show people in the stores. If you're having a bad day, you have a bad day, be mean to me. Not everybody needs to know it. Unless you take my cigarette pod away, then I'm gonna put you on blast. I'm just kidding. I saw some gentleman in a black trench coat and black leather pants on Hollywood Boulevard today, and I thought, cool fit, but you have got to be hot as heck. Hey, JC Loop. I'm back in the shade for a second so I can read my thing. This restaurant has been here forever too. I've never gone. I'm gonna walk the alley. We're gonna come up behind the Roosevelt. Whoops. I've walked through this alley before. I one time smoked a cigarette back here. I used to smoke and hide at the same time when I would smoke, so no one could see me. Kind of weird, huh? He's just after Highland, almost in front of Ripley's Believe It or Not museum, in front of the Mickey D's. Well, hello, puppy. Just a running German Shepherd through the alley. Only in Hollywood, right? Actually, we have one more block before we come up behind the Roosevelt. American Spirit sometimes. Marlboro sometimes. I didn't really have any brand loyalty. Just, I never would buy cheap cigarettes. Which is not totally true. I just wanted fresh ones. So I would never buy like a brand that nobody was smoking. American Spirits, it seemed like everybody had them, so I would buy those because they would always be fresh. Woo, we're back on Hollywood Boulevard where the action is. West Coast G, how are you? too. Poor Betty Boop is chipping away there. It's funny because some of the old pictures of Hollywood Boulevard, you can see like this store. Also, the phone number has no area code. 323 if you're gonna call. So my problem with this is I don't want to be driven by somebody in that car. I don't actually want to drive it either, but it's scary. So we can't, it looks like we can't go to Man's because they're getting ready for Freakier Friday. I'm not really sure if that's true. We'll check it out. You want to hear something really funny about the tour bus and the tour bus that I took in particular? So I take a shortcut to walk here not to walk here, but to start my walk out of my neighborhood and to somewhere a little more interesting. And I literally, the tour bus that we took, and I recognize it by the roof, has been sitting on the side of the road in like a couple blocks from where I live for like 2 weeks, covered in dust. It has not been driven. I would take a picture of it and send it to you, but you never saw the bus in the first place. Yes, so no chance to cross. It's not Freakier Friday. It's some, I don't know. Oh shoot. Cordoned in. We'll see in a second. The two bad guys or bad guys 2? No idea what that is. Sorry. That Marshall's is only like a couple years old. Look at these. That lady stopped for Bette Midler. Oh. Aren't you? It's bad boys too. Bad guys too. I didn't even know there was a bad guys regular. I literally... It's premiere week. Joseph is dying to see Freakier Friday, but in the theaters. He'll only see Freakier Friday if he can go to the movie theaters. And it's playing right here with a double feature. You can see Freaky and Freakier. I'm happy that Mashti Malone's was open, because if it wasn't, I was seriously thinking of Ghirardelliing it today with a butterscotch sundae. It is true. I think me too. I'm also like only bothered by them filming usually, or what it does to the flow of the sidewalk, which is stupid because it's work for people and taxes for my city. Just like the Jimmy Kimmel Show. I really hope they don't cancel the Jimmy Kimmel Show. I can't imagine what would happen to Hollywood and Highland and this whole area. That is really just a heartbeat. I didn't see the Smurfs movie. Despite all my promotions, they did not send me a free ticket. Did you? Was it good? Alright, I'm trying to get away from the guy with the music. You know what? The butterscotch is made with corn syrup now. I tried to get hot fudge a couple weeks ago or a couple years ago. We were going to make, Joseph and I were going to make banana splits. And I tried to get hot fudge. And both brands, Smucker's and whatever the other brand was, it wasn't Hershey's, both were like corn syrup. And then I tried to get butterscotch, and both brands were corn syrup based. For sure. I absolutely agree. And probably Kimmel too. But I don't really watch either one of them, but it's such a thing down here, that show. It kind of gives an energy to this neighborhood. Oh my God. It gives an energy to this neighborhood that is just lovely. You know? When this first opened up, Ryan Seacrest had a weird show there where people would perform in that center area. And it added something to here, even though I didn't really care about Ryan Seacrest. I'm going to just walk this way. Let's go look at Hollywood High. I'm not a huge fan of Jimmy Kimmel. I can't remember why I don't love him. But I don't not like him. I like him, but I'm not a huge fan, if that makes any sense. Look, it's John Ritter. Peeking out behind that curtain. One time I was walking through the alley here, and actually this part of the alley. And over there, they have performances. So Cyndi Lauper was performing for the Jimmy Kimmel Show. The other day we walked by, and we kind of missed John Ritter because the sun was in the way. I feel weird walking between cars in a paid parking lot, like I'm trying to break in, and I just hit somebody's window. I hope you didn't hear that. I forget I have a fanny pack on. Right? For some reason, probably because we see John Ritter on this all the time and talk about Three's Company, it must come up every couple of streams, along with what we're having for dinner. In my YouTube feed, somebody has taken bunches of Three's Company episodes and then put them together without the opening credits. And they formatted it for a modern TV, so it's landscape. And they're back to back to back to back episodes. They're never in season order, which bothers me. So it's not like episode 26, 27, and 28, which there wouldn't be that many episodes. But, 3 episodes in a row from the same season. It's like Janet has short hair, Janet has curly hair, not Janet Jackson. Janet has a spiky hairdo. Chrissy's gone. She's replaced with Cindy. She's now replaced with Chrissy again. And now we have Terry. Mr. Roper's gone. Mr. Roper's back. We've got Ralph Furley. They should put him in order. I don't know how they don't get copyright slammed or make money doing that. Can anybody tell me? Because I'm happy to do a second channel where I just cut up old TV shows. There's another poster for Weapons over there. That's that movie. The preview is derived, it's so good. This one has little children walking. But Janet had completely different looks. So in the beginning she had sort of a Mary Ann kind of look with her puffy-ish curly hair. And then she had like this sort of spiky, sort of rock chick hairdo, except still Janet clothes. And she had a third hairdo. I know, I want to see that movie too. Mel's happy hour 2 to 7. We are just in time. I don't know what their happy hour would consist of. I want to see. I want to go. I really do want to go here. $15. Hey, $15 and all that memorabilia. So we're gonna take it right here. Ozzy Osbourne's star will be blocking the sidewalk. You can already see people slowing down. Oh, last time, just really, so it's not as crowded this time. If we can get to it. Which we I love. There's a lot of water there. Here, I'm just gonna sneak in front of these folks. And rest in peace. All right. But she looked hot with the Joan Jett mullet. Like, she didn't look quite as butch as Joan Jett. She softened it. Like, when you think about that hairdo that she had, it was kind of very forward for that show. When I watch that show now, it just looks like people dressed in 70s clothes. But that hairdo was pretty forward for then. That was even before Olivia cut her hair short. I heard about it last night. I was really busy editing my members video. It took me a few extra hours. Every minute takes an hour. I'm not complaining at all. It's a labor of love. It's a pleasure to do. My back does hurt after punching over a computer. You know, I would have never done that if I'd known about it. We might have walked there, but I would not have stood there for 14 hours.
Hollywood side, jumping in the moving van to get the homeless woman out of the way.
All right, we're gonna take the Hollywood cutout. We're busy today. And hey, if it's your first time here, help a fella out. Please feel free to like and subscribe and chat with us. I really appreciate the algorithmic hug. We are walking east on Hollywood Boulevard. We didn't walk Hollywood Boulevard fully when we walked here, so I figured we would be remiss if we didn't get a walk down. Please. right. Come on. Give us the old like and subscribe. And chat. Please chat. Say something nice. Look, it's the RuPaul store. You can get RuPaul Clue. Let me know if you guys need anything. Oh, Hollywood never gets old. And when it does, they just put something else there. This is one of the best spots to get old Hollywood stuff on Hollywood Boulevard. I always wonder, you know, there's a book I'm looking for. I don't know if Larry would like me walking in there. During COVID, I used to come down and charge my car for free in the Hollywood and Highland parking lot. It was really surreal being down here when it was so empty. That mall is always like mostly got closed stores, so that was no big thing, but the rest of it was kind of just weird. I remember Joe and I went to our secret beach. It's not what it's called. I only recently found out what it was called thanks to maps. We went to our secret beach, and just when we were about to jump over like the chain to go to the beach, we both got a message from, I don't know what, got the mayor. Was that guy vertically streaming or horizontally streaming? If you don't like RuPaul, that's okay, but I would seriously invite you to change your mind. I'm not a fan of the Drag Race show, but I have watched it. It's good fun. But his interview with Mark Maron is so good. They have a really unique perspective on life and living that made me kind of have a lot of more respect for them. I feel like they are a genuine person. But you know, everybody's got shit to say about people, so I've heard shit too, but everybody's shitty sometimes. I do also feel like they really contributed to the culture. He's a glamazon. There's my bathing suit. Just kidding. There's my bathing suit. Just kidding. Huh. I don't know if LA Unknown is still here, but tell me about Aker, A-K-E-R. This is really one that caught my eye a lot also. And it shows up a lot of the same places as Hopes. There's no Hopes over there. Hey, I want to take a second to thank my members because that's worth being thankful for. So just shout out right now to ya. I saw, so in 8mm, which I, again, this is not a family movie, which I only watched for the Hollywood part. They also have the, what somebody called the La La Land mural in it. And it was pretty vibrant. And that movie was from the late 90s. Like, you can, that's James Dean. I don't know who that is. I'm pretty sure that's Marlene Dietrich, Al Jolson, and okay. Maybe that mural needs to go. It's Al Jolson from the jazz singer Al Jolson. So I really like that. I'm sorry about that. I really like that mural till I noticed that. So maybe if we petition to get it redone, among all the things I'm petitioning the city about, I'm going to make them not put Al Jolson from the jazz singer. He can be there, but no jazz singer. I'm a woman size 12. And that's all I'm going to say there. I've never done drag. I just know my woman's size shoe. Actually, I was once a lady witch for Halloween when I was 13. I think my mother tried to talk me out of it, but I was like, nope. It was the same mother who, when I told her I was going to run away with a packed suitcase, said, okay. She was a lovely mother. Those are just funny things. So we'll replace them with Neil Diamond. We are kind of wiggling, again, not wiggling. I can't stop saying wiggling. We're working our way back to Western. This is definitely a little extended. We haven't made it quite back to Vine yet, but we'll take a walk up Vine. So really, Peggy Hill. I think she is one of my favorite cartoon characters, actually. Peggy Hill. I always kind of like the mother. I think we've established that in the past. My favorite character from 6 Feet Under is the mother. Marge Simpson I can relate to the best. Actually, Joseph probably feels like Marge Simpson. Ooh. When I walked by the Spotlight Club before, or the Spotlight Bar before, so this bar has been here for a super long time. When I first moved here, it was considered a gay hustler bar. And I went with my friend, not to hustle, not even to dance at all. It was like totally like right out of the 1950s, 60s, smoky, rundown, full of older gentlemen. We had one drink. I've heard it's beautiful inside Tao. I've just never experienced it. Amoeba is now a couple blocks over. We'll walk by it in a few. It's now on Argyle and Hollywood. So they moved it, I thought, to tear down that building and put apartments there, but that building has hosed the Van Gogh like Instagram pop-up walkthrough exhibit, and also some other art weird exhibit there. So they haven't torn it down. It was really the perfect place, and since it moved, that area just died. I mean, unalived, right? So Amoeba was gone, and now the Dome is gone, the movie theater, the Cinerama Dome. This little complex here used to have an Umami Burger and an Urban Outfitters and a couple of other kind of cool shops. But once the Amoeba left, it kind of tore all the stuff away. Also the Jack in the Box, but that might have been just closing because it was Jack in the Box. There's also a really cool like architecture bookstore over there. Museum of Death. It doesn't say no photography. We're thinking it's too gory. So this, again, if Cecilia, you weren't here when we walked through here earlier, this is like where the farmer's market is that we went to on Sunday. We might be going there this Sunday also because we're going to the beach on Saturday, and I'm going on Thursday. So I probably won't be down to get in the car again on Sunday. I think we attract a lot of people that are from LA or who have lived in LA, which is great because it always helps fill in the gaps of my knowledge. I'm gonna break the law. They're all expats, LA expats, a lot of expats. But if you write to Jason, you still have to put Los Angeles on the envelope, not Mid-City. I'm kidding. That was from an earlier conversation. Well, if you think about it, California is really like its own country. Fourth largest economy in the world. Wow. Oh my God, that's hilarious. They have a sign for the other spa in North Hollywood. Ooh, I have a t-shirt that I was going to put out that said Hollyweird. I just didn't want to offend anybody. Heels and wigs, if you need either of those, you've got the wig district on Wilshire Boulevard. But Hollywood, you can get a wig stylist who's always on duty in one of the wig shops. And if you tell them it's your birthday, they'll give you a discount on your wig. You don't even have to show them proof. It's crazy that that's a little kebab restaurant with seating outside. That's perfect for live streaming, maybe with Joseph. I see Mid-City in my head, but I cannot tell you where it is for some reason. It's tough. My feet are 11, like men's, so I'm okay. How can you find women's shoes, though? I worked in a shoe store, and so they made really cool shoes, and there were a couple women's shoes that were unisex looking, and I tried them on. I also tried on heels there, and they were granite heels with like a thick heel, but they were size 12. I felt like Mrs. Doubtfire. I really love Hancock Park too. It feels like definitely just a really well cared for area, another time almost. Also, I think like Beverly Hills gets all the kudos for being luxury, but this is some old school luxury. John Wick cream pies. All right, we've got a baka somewhere.
This is the FTD show. You can find me on all major platforms, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok. Here you go, FTD Entertainment. This next song is called Be Thankful. I made this song just to be thankful.
I wear boots in the winter. Usually, I guess they're Chelsea boots, some sort of boots with elastic on the side, no laces. Sneakers and boat shoes. So there's the new home of Amoeba. It's also in a new building. They still have performances there, but it's all one floor. I'm gonna cross. The most exciting thing to me, though, is what's up ahead here on the left. It's a Bristol Farms that is supposed to open this summer. I have to tell you though, there's only one more month of summer. They better get that Bristol Farms up and running soon. Did anybody pick Santa Monica from that poll? I felt like Santa Monica lost big time. I felt like when I last looked, it looked like Long Beach won completely. And I don't know if anybody voted, but it was a big difference. Bristol Farms and Gelson's are like the two fancy grocery stores before Erewhon. I think I've talked about Bristol Farms before. There's a Bristol Farms. Gelson's was always, to me, the nicer of the two stores, but there's a Bristol Farms in Beverly Hills that I told this story before, so sorry. It used to be Chasen's restaurant, and Chasen's was like a fancy chili restaurant. I was just gonna tie my shoe. Fancy chili restaurant, or they had fancy restaurant, but they had chili in the 60s. Liz Taylor flew chili from Chasen's to the set of Cleopatra. So they took the Chasen's and they put Bristol Farms there. And Bristol Farms has everything. They even kept a portion of the Chasen's as a place for people to eat. They have sushi, they have prepared food, you can get pizza dough. I worked kind of close to there for a little bit. It was really lovely to be able to get groceries from there. Very expensive. Not Erewhon prices, but very expensive. Gelson's is so nice that they take the groceries out of your basket for you. It doesn't have one of those long conveyor belts. You just push your basket. I'm gonna sit for 1 second and tie my shoe. Let's see if somebody kicks me off of here. Ah. I really wish I had set my watch for this walk. I feel like we have done near 6 or 7 miles. I was kind of surprised what walk that we took on Monday was only like a little less than 5. The longer walks, I feel like take so much less time. Yeah, these are all super new buildings except for this brown one right here. So we're on Argyle, right? A brown one right there has been here for a while. And then, of course, that was the Hard Rock building before. So those were there. But across the street from here, this is where Nickelodeon Studios were. If you saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, please, I have not seen it, but you know what? I am going to watch it within the next 2 weeks. There was a club scene filmed in that. Again, I did not see it. And it was actually filmed in front of this building, which is part of the Nickelodeon studio. And I don't know what the club was called, but it's got a bunch of different zodiac signs. It's right behind the mesh, the barricade, if you will. Kind of cool. I used to live next door to, I mentioned that earlier on, like extras from the studio. I used to laugh at them. I hope you weren't there. So the only things that are really here, like Morgan Camera, I'm surprised. I love that, and you know I love signs, so I've always kind of loved that. But like they just wiped out everything. Hey, you go. And this, which is still like a studio, I don't know what they're doing with it. We're at 3 hours. Once I start, it's really tricky to stop. And then if I ended, I'd have to walk home alone. And who would I talk to? So I wish they didn't have the tarp up. You can almost see through it. You can kind of see. So it also was a club. I really wanted to work for that ice cream and then also work that ice cream off. I have burned 978 calories. So, 1 scoop. And it's always fun to end the stream in the middle of the 101 freeway, so it's usually where we try. The Arby's is gone. The sign is still there. It's now a pizza parlor. The Rite Aid, I'm kind of excited for this. Anytime I go out of town, I always shop at the grocery outlet bargain market. So that's going to open there. Always talk to YouTube followers and expect a reply. I sort of missed that, Hilda, but I always say hi to everybody. Unless I miss them because the sun gets in my eyes. So this is Gower Gulch. We talked about it before. This is where the Cowboys hung out. Cowboy Extras, right across from Sunset Gower Studios, which used to be Universal. We will do a studio history walk for sure next Thursday, probably. Hey, Mighty Bull, thank you so much. I feel like when you look back at pictures of Paramount from 10 or 20 years ago, it wasn't quite as fortified. I would love to walk into Paramount. They would bolt my ass right out of there in a heartbeat, though. I got kicked out of the cemetery a couple weeks ago. Sunset Gower, they filmed the Brady Bunch movie here. And Dexter. Not the new one, but the old Dexter. I hope to be invited to Paramount one day. And Frasier. I didn't live here when they were making Frasier. But I did live around the corner, and so I remember walking by and seeing the signs. But I lived on Bronson, which has a studio, also Sunset Bronson, that's now part of Netflix. But that filmed judge shows, but like not Judge Judy, like Divorce Court and Where's My Gavel? There was 2 shows that it filmed, Divorce Court and something else. And it is really hot to stand still in the sun on a summer day with no shade outside of a big white studio building waiting to go in. You would see all these people, the kind of people you see on judge shows, just in their Friday night fanciness at 12 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon when it was blazing hot outside, 90 degrees, just sweating in their fancy clothes to go on the Judge Whoever show. Give those people like a canopy or something. Like, I just felt so bad for them. And you know, the kind of people that are going on a judge show are also a little angry. And they would fight. Occasionally the police would have to come. I don't know if they've ever filmed anything fancy near me. I think when I first moved to Hollywood, they filmed like a telenovela, 2 houses down. I have been present for HGTV shows, though. When you said that, I just imagined Janet from Three's Company in a silk blouse with a button-up pencil skirt and spiky hair. Sorry. I can imagine. Dress clothes are not the best for being outside in the heat unless you're like wearing white linen, which I could never. Dirt just finds me. That's what I pictured. Joan Jett head and then business body. Did Janet pass away? Is Janet no longer with us? Are all Three's Company people no longer with us? The original ones? You can always email me privately. I'll never tell anybody. But you know, the awesome thing is you effing gave it a shot. You know, I'm sure so many people dream of doing something like that and never try. Oh, look, you guys. Papaya salad and a tree stump for me to trip on. There's no more Arby's roast beef. They serve pizza now. They kept the sign though. So yeah, the stage doors are the second building right down there. The trees are actually newer. Hilda! We do have James Woods, you know. James E. Woods is one of our members. James E. Woods, though. Who James is also a Hollywood guy. He grew up in Hollywood. Channel 5. My favorite thing I ever saw here was when the guy climbed up and dropped a banner that said "Free Billie Eilish." I'm not really sure from what. If you're ever down here, don't even stop for a second on these walls because they will come out for you and move you. No ifs, ands, or buts on the wall. I've got sunblock on, Hilda, but I'm pretty sure I still get a little tan. The Batcave is still up there. I would walk up there, but once you get, we were walking in the hills Monday, right? And up above Franklin, but you get a little far up there and the signal cuts out. We actually got to Ferndale, sorry. And I thought, maybe I'll walk all the way to Griffith Observatory, but it kind of cut out the signal, so I had to turn around. I didn't tell you guys what I was thinking, but once we got to Ferndale, I was like, what the heck? And then no signal. We were doing a cults walk and talking about different cults and haunted spaces in the area. And a little further up it's not Van Ness, it's Beechwood. Also, the signal just craps out. I actually really love a little tan. I am Casper the Friendly Ghost pale. And when I have a little tan, just a little tan, I'm the Griffith Observatory, just sitting and watching. I just feel a little better. I feel like I look a little more like I don't know, less goth. We should see if we can find it. So I am resurrecting my shit phone tomorrow just to make sure that I don't get lost. I never carry the second phone with me, by the way, because it's more frustrating to use than anything. All right. I was trying to let this truck go. Okay, your commute. Stay at work. We are looking down towards Los Angeles. We'll have another look at the freeway. We'll go down and walk by it. I got UPS. I've got, I think, 110. I prefer a 10. Getting a suntan is really horrible for your skin. I did spend a huge portion of my life avoiding the sun. So I feel like I can get tan a couple times. Just a little bit. So, you see, I never want to drive anywhere. Remember the cords that I was supposed to return Monday, but the UPS store closed for good? I returned them today. I could have driven out to a different UPS store, but the idea of getting in the car sometimes to go 5 miles for 30 minutes and then 30 minutes back is just unbearable. I can walk a lot faster. We are going to do like a 12:15 is my goal. Because it's Long Beach, I just wanted to start a little sooner in the day. More to explore. I think we should go for like 2-3 hours tomorrow. Growing up in the 70s or 80s, it was normal to be tan. Like I mean, people used to put baby oil on to tan. My mother never tanned though. She was pretty freckly though, and I think that's why. That's probably where I got my Casper the Ghost white skin from. Sorry. So, Jay, also 2 beach days. We're going to go to Venice on Saturday. Venice on Saturday with Joe. Long Beach with me on Thursday. Friday, Sunset Boulevard walk, but the other end. Sunday, I think we're just going to bum around and go to the farmer's market. I'm definitely not driving anywhere on Sunday after driving to the beach on Saturday. Right? I bet the dogs wonder, my dogs at home wonder why my voice is coming out of the TV. I think Joe's watching on TV. I'm just going to say this again. This Home Depot is usually bustling with people. People happy to help you paint your apartment or fix your plumbing. The whole village of sweet little old guys and gals, some gals down here. Gone, thanks to ice. One of my dogs watches almost, the terrier, watches TV, and it seems like he gets it, not like the plot, but like gets what's happening on TV. My other dog sort of watches TV, but like this one will watch a dog on TV and get upset, or watch a cat on TV and get upset, even though he doesn't mind cats usually. I'm gonna dip down here. I just prefer to walk down here. Western over there, they're building a building. And it's kind of dusty and gross. Used to be a lady over here who sold the best tacos. Well, she is also gone. Oh my gosh, we're almost to 4 hours. Thank you guys so much. We're not gonna end it yet. We gotta cross the street and go under the highway to take one last look at traffic. And please don't anybody scream suckers to people sitting in their car as we walk by them on the freeway. It's rude. Me too. I mean, that would be the Home Depot I would go to. I really have got to say, I know we don't talk politics because we can all be friends here, but I just really, the places that shut their DEI stuff off, I just have a hard time going to. If I need paint, normally I would probably go to Home Depot. There's like a Sherwin Williams. It's a knockoff Sherwin Williams. A Sherwin Williams store a couple blocks away. Dunn Edwards. There's so many paint stores in LA. It's sad what happens. It's weird, and again, not to get political, but this whole thing with Obama and Tulsi Gabbard, she's nuts. Okay, well, stop. Remember when there used to be an Osh across the street from that Home Depot? It's now like a WSS cheapo sneaker store, which I always go to but can never find any sneakers I like. My favorite thing I read today is, so President Macron and Brigitte are suing Candace, I forget her last name right now, for some reason I can never remember it, are suing she's like a MAGA supporter, Candace, something. And for saying that Brigitte Macron is a man, and she's actually a man and not a woman, and that the CIA put Macron as the president of France. So the only great thing about that buffet is the soft serve machine. Yeah, the woman who slapped the president. They're French. They slap each other. I love that she like pushed him in the puss is kind of what it was like. It's like that scene where James Cagney like shoves a grapefruit in somebody's face. Jean Harlow, maybe? That buffet is really good. If you haven't eaten and you just sat in your car and smoked your bong, because anything is good at that point. Ty, do you remember when this Starbucks was a gas station? A mobile gas station? It used to have taco trucks in it a lot. I always thought when they put the Starbucks there, it would just ruin traffic right here. It didn't. I haven't had a grapefruit in years. I love France. I really love France. Not as much as the Netherlands as far as vacations go, but... So this is the worst part of taking this staircase. I need to cross this, and people are not very generous, and it's crazy that they're not very generous in letting you cross, because when you see how far they're going to get, which is not that far at all, doesn't make any sense. So they're getting on the freeway to go home. They'll be sitting there for quite some time. All right. I thought that guy on the scooter did just go over there. Woo, got blurry for a second. Okay, no pointing and laughing. Remember, these people have air conditioning, I do not, so they're riding quietly. And coolly, whoa. I love French coffee and galois. Also, a croque monsieur. I think a French trip is what you make it, also. It is one of my favorite countries to visit, and I've never been to the Louvre. How about that? Oh my god, a good croque monsieur makes a grilled cheese look like Cheez-Its. A bechamel sauce, jambon, cheese on the top, cooked in a salamander to be perfect, just great. So, there's your evening commute. Bumper to bumper, 45 minutes. Sorry. I would stay at work. Whew. I had to get out of there. I think they were smoking marijuana, and they didn't want me to see. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow around 12:15, Long Beach. We're going to get as close to the Queen Mary as we can. Cecilia, thank you so much for your support today, and always. Thank you guys all so much. I will talk to you tomorrow. Thank you to my members. Really appreciate you being here. And if it's your first time, please give us an old like and subscribe. I can't remember where to get a good one around here, but I have had one recently. We'd love to hit 2,000 by the end of the month. Anyway, end of the month being August. I'm already calling it August. Have a good night. We'll be streaming tomorrow, and I will see you then. I'm sad to see you. No, really. So glad to see you. Cheers. Bye. Try the ties. Huh?